While much has changed for Split Enz in the 50 years since Tim Finn and Phil Judd performed together at Telethon, the DNA of this iconic act somehow remains as intact and as vibrant as ever. Just ask anyone who was at Electric Avenue earlier this year.
Well, firstly, congratulations on your triumphant return at Electric Avenue.
You know, it was a wonderful feeling to see the sun coming through and going behind the trees, the golden hour. You could see the crowd was a mix of all ages. They were singing back to us. And we were playing well and looking at each other, and, you know, it was a very, very good vibe up there, and, you know,
Yeah.
couldn't have asked for more.
Looking snappy in Noel Crombie's suits, you know, it's a good feeling.
Along with the Finns and Eddie Rayner, Noel Crombie is one of the pillars of the Enz and one of our greatest designers.
Noel Crombie drums, fine arts graduate and chief influence on the way Split Enz looks. He designs the album covers and directs the band's video material. And he's the one who created the costumes that made Split Enz one of the strangest groups seen anywhere, anytime.
So obviously the Split Enz story has a number of chapters. Tim, you're the only member to have been there remaining now from 1972. Does that give you special dibs on things? Do you have a different status than everybody else?
Unspoken, doubtful, all these sort of words come to mind. But yeah, there's a definite, I guess I'm the kaumatua, I'm the, you know, the elder of the band. Nigel Griggs, who unfortunately wasn't able to come on this run and play bass for us, was the eldest. We used to call him the Codge, or the old Codger, but it became the Codge. So now I'm the Codge.
Like a pearl to the bottom of the world. Oh, come on.
In terms of lineups, the one that you've got going on at the moment with Noel and Eddie, I mean, it's a pretty iconic setup, you have to say.
But the four pillars, exactly, Jeremy, and you know, you can't take, I think if one of those went, we wouldn't be able to do Split Enz anymore, so it's the exact kind of microcosm, and hallelujah, because, yeah, I mean, look at what they all cover, you know. I mean, once Eddie starts playing, he's just masterful.
Eddie and Noel were both established in the band before Neill Finn joined in 1977. It was former bass player Mike Chun who suggested Neill when Phil Judd departed. But it would be a while before the younger Finn's guitar playing would be cutting any mustard.
I wasn't in the mix out front for a good year or so while I was still developing.
Which wasn't our decision, by the way. It was the sound guy.
The sound guy decided
Unbelievably.
it was better for the overall career of the band if I wasn't in the mix for a while.
He probably, the first gig, he probably went, hit him up there, and he went, no.
So hold on, you were playing?
I'm playing, yeah, and jumping around a little bit. The guy out front's not mixing me in the sound.
Was it
Only when I got a tape. Because I asked for a tape so I could learn what I was, you know, whether it was working what I was doing, and I listened to it and there was not one note.
Yeah.
But Eddie, of course, was in an absolute, he was loving it. He was euphoric because he could fill every single space in the sound, which is what he's always wanted to do. And, you know, he's a master, so he wants to be the sound. But then after a while I learned how to do it. We started to jam, and that's where I think I felt like I know I'm getting the idea of being in a band now, and I'm hitting the odd good note, and people want to hear what I'm playing, you know. And then it culminated, I guess, in True Colours, which is when I felt like my songs were suddenly, you know, taking some kind of position in the band's canon.
True Colours, with its smash hit I Got You, remains untouched as peak Split Enz and is widely considered to be the best Kiwi album of all time. For Neill and Tim, it all began in their childhood home in Te Awamutu. Omar Sharif was also involved.
I remember Tim learnt on piano, going right back. He was doing piano lessons and he learnt Lara's theme from Dr. Zhivago, which happened to be our mother's favourite film because she really fancied Omar Sharif. And I remember Tim learning that, and I was only about 7, and I went, oh, I've got to do that, because it sounded really good, and I learnt it too. So it was very much a case of trying to track Tim's progression, and I'm 5 years younger, so it pushed me. It's great having an older brother doing it, yeah, because you just want to be there.
Dad started going through YouTube in his last years. Neill gave him an iPad, and he just was unbelievable. He was astonished once he went down the rabbit hole of us and Split Enz and Crowded House. And he couldn't believe, you know, obviously, he's a man in his 90s, and he's realising that it's all there.
I became more of a man when Noel started caring for my hair.
And he said to me, do you look at that? I said, no, never. He said, you will. So, so maybe he's going to be right.
I sometimes accidentally come upon things, and I'm kind of, most of the time it's really enjoyable. There's a few things that, I listened to my voice as a young man, it was sort of adenoidal and high-pitched, and I go...
21 today.
21 today, yes. And I haven't been given a key yet. 6 flagons of beer and a bottle of wine, but no key.
There's the odd, really obscure thing that comes along. There was a Dutch comedy show that we were on once that is still baffling to even contemplate, because we don't know what was going on. And there was a sketch that they involved Noel in. And I've got a feeling Noel was sort of the butt of the joke in a Dutch kind of way. But he played along with it. But we don't know, because they were talking Dutch, obviously. But that's why, you know, how did we end up on that thing? It's so mysterious.
Ja, vertel op! Ben jij nou die nieuwe oma, of hou je me voor de bal?
New Zealand. New Zealand is where we come from. Mountains, scenery.
Nou, daar geloof ik geen woord van.
Obviously, there's a lot of archive of you guys over the years. Is there anything you don't want me to watch or to play here? Is there anything that stands out from memory that you'd just like us to completely
Which you will then show for sure.
This is a loaded question.
Yeah. We've seen right through you.
I reckon everybody in Split Enz, they're a funny group, you know. I reckon they all look like animals, every one of them. Like the keyboard player, Eddie. You want to be Eddie? Okay, you can start there. He looks like a horse to me. He really does. And that drummer guy, Noel Crombie, definitely looks like a goat. He's a full-on goat, that guy. And there's the bass player's got to be a tortoise or a turtle at least, with great big flippers paddling him through the ocean. And Neill Finn, well, I mean, he's an ant. If ever I've seen an ant, he's an ant.
Where's the sugar? What do I have?
And then there's Tim, the sort of bull. The bull.
But as enjoyable as the archive may be, it's in the songs of Split Enz where the magic truly resides.
Like for me, it was like when I was singing 6 months in a leaky boat, there was that, you know, that huge awareness of the crowd, the feeling in the crowd. It felt like we were playing their song. Would you sit down and write a song in your room, and you don't even know if anyone will ever hear it, to have that like 40 years later.
Further to that, I think the thing that really resonates sometimes is when people tell you their own personal account of our song. Meant so much to them when they were going through a tough time, or, you know, when they got married to some song that you wrote, and just you see in their eyes what important part of their lives it is. That means a lot. More than watching old interviews or TV appearances.